We weren't the biggest fans of the first half of The Walking Dead Season 8 and, with ratings dropping below 8 million for the first time since the second season in the US, it looks like we weren't the only ones. However, just because the episodes suffered from problems that have plagued the show for a while now, that doesn't mean there weren't some encouraging signs that maybe, just maybe, it had started to turn a corner. So, before it returns to our screens in 2018, here are the things Season 8 did right and what we want more of. 1. Story editing. It seems like such a simple thing, but it was very positive that The Walking Dead moved away from single character focused episodes, deciding to show us several storylines in one episode for a large part of Season 8, so far. Take Time for After as an example. As it is, the episode is not just the low point of Season 8, but arguably one of the worst episodes the show has delivered. But imagine how much worse it would have been if we had been left with Eugene all episode. That boombox discussion and his giggle juice obsession would have been extended, with the Rick and Daryl subplots potentially left to the mid-season finale. 2. Forward momentum. This didn't necessarily apply to all of Season 8, but while we still don't know if the show has an endgame of any kind, we can at least see the direction it's heading in for the second half of the season. With the mid-season finale destroying Alexandria, it looks like everyone will be heading to the hilltop for a final stand against Negan, delivering the conclusion to the all-out war arc that showrunner Scott Gimple had promised by the end of Season 8. Of course, we're not expecting it to happen any earlier than the season finale, though. 3. Killing off surplus characters. Sure, The Walking Dead still has a long way to go with culling one of the largest casts on TV, but at least it started to do it in Season 8. An all-out war should have casualties, and the show has killed off a few minor characters who ate up screen time for no purpose. Bye Eric, we hardly knew ye. See you later Neil, who are you again? Adios Gunther, at least you died in style. And we've already told you why it was a good thing that Shiva died. More please. 4. Rick and Daryl conflict. Daryl started to rebel against Rick in a big way in Season 8's 5th episode, The Big Scary You, with the two trading blows. Rick disagreed with Daryl wanting to use the bombs to strike the sanctuary, so they had a bit of a scuffle before Rick ended it by using up the explosives. The fight itself wasn't exactly great, but at least it added an interesting dynamic into the mix, with Daryl following through on his plan, substituting bombs for a truck with Dara's help, even if he then seems to blame himself for Negan escaping, although we still don't know exactly how that happened. We have a feeling this will lead to Daryl accepting Rick's decisions again, yet we're hoping it won't be as clear-cut as that. 5. Maggie or maybe Daryl will have someone else's orders to follow? It certainly feels like by the end of the mid-season finale, Maggie is the main one of the survivors to actually have their shit together, taking Simon's leniency and killing one of her savior prisoners when she got back to the hilltop. So with Rick mourning Carl's demise, Maggie could become the leader of the group, which would again shake up the dynamic, instantly making it a more interesting show. Does anyone really want another season of Rick bellowing orders? 6. Negan being less of a comic book villain. Talking of character moments, Negan actually became a three-dimensional character in Season 8 during his scenes with Father Gabriel and the Big Scary You, revealing his tragic backstory and explaining why he is how he is. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was superb in these scenes, likely because he was given something to do other than spout OTT nonsense. Unfortunately, a later scene saw him become a wannabe rapper. I wear a leather jacket, I have Lucille, and my nutsack is made of steel. But we're holding out hope that we'll get some more quieter scenes of Negan in future, as they make him a far more compelling and complex villain. 7. Killing off Carl. So this is more of a hopeful positive than definitely something the show did right. We're still not entirely happy with how it played out, but killing off Carl could be a good thing for the future of the show. It's the biggest deviation from the comics they've ever done, and it means major changes for the series, which we've outlined here. Yet, there's no reason we can't take this as a positive. To date, the show has largely followed the storylines of the comics, with the odd change here and there, meaning it can be predictable for anyone with the knowledge of the source material. Now, they could just give all of Carl's storylines to another character and it'll be business as usual, but there's a chance that Carl's death is just the start of a series of surprise moments going forward. As long as they're not just thrown in for the sake of a shock twist,